Are you listening? Just about everyone who has ever spoken instructions to someone else has asked that question, at least inside their own minds, if not out loud. Few things are more infuriating, frustrating, and heartbreaking than pouring one's heart out to another, hoping to help them, just to realize they aren't listening. It's bad enough when they've tuned you out and don't hear or comprehend what you're saying, but it's even worse when they hear the words that are coming out of your mouth, understand exactly what you're saying, and don't care. Now, consider how being in that situation makes you feel and expand it for 50 years or more. Got it? Now you know what Isaiah was getting himself into when he said, "Here am I, send me." Isaiah 6, verse 8. Here are God's instructions. He said, "Go and tell this people, keep on listening, but do not perceive. Keep on looking, but do not understand. Render the hearts of this people insensitive, their ears dull, and their eyes dim. Otherwise they might see with their eyes, hear with their ears, understand with their hearts, and return and be healed." Isaiah 6, verses 9 and 10. At the very beginning of his call to preach to Judah was the awful declaration that he would be talking to people who wouldn't listen. Oh, they would hear his words, and a part of them on a certain level would understand them, but they wouldn't care. Most of them alive in 740 BC knew nothing but prosperity under the leadership of Uzziah and assumed it would never end. As far as they were concerned, they were God's chosen people, and despite their sin and faithless lives, God would always protect and preserve them. So they would either refuse to believe that Isaiah was actually speaking from God, or worse, believe he was a prophet, but Yahweh God would never do anything to them. They were so very wrong. Notice what God had Isaiah tell the nation right up front. He openly declared his expectation was for them to listen but not perceive, look but not understand, not because that's what he wanted, but because he knew that's what they were going to do. This isn't proof of inherited depravity, because God is not a cruel God who enjoys turning anyone away, much less those who will listen. Rather, it's a declaration of their reality. The more he revealed, the less they cared. The more he condemned, the more defiant they became. He was forcing them to face his judgment by having Isaiah say things they didn't want to hear. They didn't want to hear about their sin and faithlessness, so God was going to hammer away at them for their sin and faithlessness. Speaking of which, how many today only want to hear about God's grace and forgiveness and turn a deaf ear and blind eye to teachers who dare point out their sin and faithlessness? Multitudes upon multitudes. How many refuse to repent and be baptized for the forgiveness of their sins because their preacher or church said it isn't necessary, despite the multitude of Bible passages saying it is? If that's you, then God might have been thinking about you when he told Isaiah to say, "Keep on listening, but do not perceive. Keep on looking, but do not understand." Will you prove him right too? Thank you for watching Morning Minutes in the Bible on An American Missionary. Until next time, this is James McClenny, hoping you have a great day.